Let me make sure it's all good now. Yeah. Okay, sweet. Is my replay up to date? I are up to speed? I sure hope so. It is. Alright, sweet.
Dracula's castle is just ahead. I have come here to destroy
God,
you.
I love the art style
just
for this
like
one.
my father, mother, and their allies before me.
No one believed me when I said the newest Belmont would be a girl.
The art design is incredible. I love the fact that it's not the same old, same old. Not that it ever is in the series, but still, this design is incredible.
God has given you another chance, Rose. You must use it wisely to better control your curse and strengthen yourself.
You are no more than an irritating thing. What makes you think you can stop me this time?
There's that voice. There's that voice.
I've always wanted a pet Belmont.
Stupid girl. I will show you what hell is.
I am Rose Belmont, and I will hunt the night!
Lovely. Huge. The art is so fucking good. Holy shit. The key art is incredible. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Just a little bit. Turn the volume down a decent amount. First, I do like the new art style that, since it's the Dead Cells devs, it looks a lot like from what I've seen. Again, I've never gotten to play it, sadly, but the art style does look so similar, which I kind of think helps it a lot. It helps differentiate it, which I think is perfectly okay. I do hope they make it to where we can turn off the damage numbers. I kind of don't like them. Almost all of the later Castlevania games had them, and I didn't really like them that much. Wait. First up, we're getting the card system back from Circle of the Moon, which I think is pretty good. That's pretty cool. I'm curious what it's going to do, though, because this was pretty much the ability system for Circle of the Moon. What I'm wondering is if we're going to be able to upgrade weapons again slightly by swapping out cards, or if these are just going to be the way that the permanent upgrades happen. Rather than you finding an item or an elixir or something, I wonder if instead they're just going to mold it all into one sort of thing, or if we're still going to be mixing and matching arcanas, that way we can create stupid shit like we could in Circle of the Moon. I think that was probably my favorite thing about that game, is being able to mix two tarot cards, arcana cards, whatever you want to call them, and somehow you get like a copper brass pistol for no apparent reason. It was still extremely hype. So it's cool to see that back. Voice acting is very nice, which I kind of expected there to be voice acting, but it's just nice to hear it in general, because it's not always a guarantee. It's been quite a while since we'd have full-scale voice acting, so it'll be nice to have that. I think the Japanese voice actors are already out, but I don't think the English are.
Irritating thing. What makes you think you can stop me this time?
Enemy designs are incredible. They're neat. They've been showing them one by one. I just missed it. I really like the Carmilla design this time. One, the mask is there, which is cool. Call back to her original style, since before that's all she really was a mask, and then later versions would eventually have her on a skull, with skulls, even without it. I still think this is a very good design because they made her look more vampire-like. I that's what I think anyways. While they still kept the crying mask, which is a huge part of her original identity. So I'm glad that for this design they kept that.
Head Belmont.
And see, they kept the skull design too. It's neat. I'm glad I was right when I first saw this. That, yeah, Isaac is back. That is pretty big. That is very big, actually. I like the fact that they're bringing him back. So I'm assuming, yeah, obviously he died in Curse of Darkness. We did see that. Okay, yeah, we killed him. Technically, somehow, even though when we defeat him, he's not dead. Then all of a sudden, he gets absorbed and he's dead. Whatever. That means he's brought back. I really want to see what they're going to write for him. Because this is one of the few times where we're getting a character who hasn't returned in the franchise. Yeah, okay, he got an adaptation in the Netflix series. And he's been in some of the crossovers. But this is a character who we saw in one game of the series that we're now getting back in the sequel to that game. Again, very cool little story elements that I'm very much looking forward to. I'm just glad to see him return. Do I think we're going to see Hector? No. I don't think we're getting to see Hector. I think he's good. I think his story's over. It's kind of hard to pause it here. This is when they're going through a couple. I think most of them are shown, but yeah, we get the Medusa look, which is weird. The serpents look a lot more like dragons this time. I like it, though. She's definitely more reptile this time, rather than being more on the woman's side, which is kind of leaning back to the arcade game, which I like. I like the designs. That's the one thing I cannot count out, is I really do like a lot of the designs in this game. I think they're doing a really good job. Joan of Arc, which I'm really looking forward to. I want to hear the voice. I'm hoping she's one of the characters that has voice acting. I still think that's going to be a cool fight. I like the layout that they have. They showed it in the second trailer. It's cool to see that they're leaning heavily into the era that they're in, now that they're in the late 1400s, if I'm not wrong, 15th century. So I'm very much looking forward to that and seeing if they pull some other historical figures. Okay. So I forget what they named this character. It's on the new little website listings, which we'll look at after this. There's a lot of discussion as to who this is. And I had my own theory. And I'll go over that here in a minute. Again, I like the design, but I think I'm wrong what my theory was going to be. And then, yeah, hold on. Oh. No, damn it. Oh, shit. Oh, come on. Can't pause for shit. No! Fucking. This is what I get. Fat fingered it. Death's design is a little weird. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But his head is very pointy. I kind of do not like the pointed hood. Now, yeah, in some of his, he does have a bit of a pointy hood, but it's usually leaning back. This one is straight up. This dude's got an erect hood. I don't know if I feel that. I don't know if I'm too into that one. The rest of the design looks sick. He looks cool as usual. It's rare we have a bad design. And again, he looks better right here. He still has the pointy hood, but I still think it's an incredible design.
I am Rose Belmont.
And then, yeah, we get the Rose. We finally know her name. And the release date is perfect. Although I was hoping for a summer release. I was really hoping for summer. But it makes sense. I did say once that it would probably be October. And then that key art is so good, man. Oh, God, the key art is so incredible. Yeah, this is going to be a day one instantly. There's no doubt about it that this is going to be a day one. Okay, real quick now. Look at that. Look at that. That is gorgeous. That is beautiful. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh god, I love it. Hold on, I gotta make it a little bigger. Looks so good, it does. It looks incredible. Oh, this art is so good. Apparently it is a really well-known artist who does it. Apparently he's done artists. Apparently a lot of art has been done for different franchises. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. I love it. Especially seeing all the characters around, which Dracula looking like Rob Zombie for some reason. Rose looks incredible. She looks a lot like her mother, which is fine. I don't know who this is. I can't figure out who this dude is. He looks like the guy from Six Flags. I'm assuming that's Carmilla. Just different looking in the art style. We got Joan of Arc right here. We have a lot of the like dragons, especially up here. We actually have like a dragon. I'm assuming that might just be the snakes that we saw in Medusa, but I could be wrong. We might end up having another zombie dragon fight, which is going to be absolutely wild if we do, because I hate those fights. I dread them. A harpy, or maybe not a harpy. I don't know. I'm assuming that's a harpy. Death right here. Again, there's so many little details in this artwork that I love. It is so cool. And then that unknown character is right there. Which, again, I don't think is a bad guy. I just noticed the pose she's hitting. Look at that. She's like squatting down. She's hitting a JoJo pose. Look at this shit. Look at that. This is aura. This is huge. Insane amounts of aura that we got here. Oh, God, that's so good, man. Even got just random bonus skull. I'm hoping that this is the cover art. I'm really hoping that they make this the cover art because the Steam page art changed to this. So I'm hoping this stays as like the physical copy. That'd be awesome. That'd be incredible. So where is it that they have the... Yeah, medieval Paris. Engulfed 1499, Paris is engulfed in flames as monstrous creatures suddenly emerge from the shadows. Let me make sure that this is actually looking decent. Yeah. Let me bring this back. Let me bring this back to the borders that way. Okay. That is still a little bit off, I think. There we go. Trevor Belmont, the hero who defeated Dracula, ventures into the burning streets with his daughter, Rose Belmont. Armed with the legendary Holy Whip, the vampire killer, they hunt down the beasts bleeding from the looming castle. Rose is soon swept up in the dark conspiracy that lurks beneath. Can't speak. Will she succeed in saving Paris from devastation? Probably. But it's perfect. I'm glad that we're getting a game to follow up Curse of Darkness. Okay, yeah, we get the whip. That's cool. I like that we get the traversal. Okay, yeah. Face off against legendary bosses, including Death Medusa Carmilla, and new bosses such as Joan of Arc. Once defeated, bosses are sealed into Rose's tarot cards, turning them into Arcana. So she is Nathan from Circle of the Moon. Again, a cool system. Was it my favorite? No. I will say I was not actually the biggest fan of the Arcana system. Was it called Arcana? Well, I don't remember what it was called in Circle of the Moon. I wasn't a huge fan of it at the time, but at the same time, it was neat to play around with. I did like that. I did really like playing around with the Arcana system. It was one of my favorite things, especially just switching him to Kung Fu and everything. It was nice. I don't know how the oh, wait, speaking of which, weapons. Yeah. Customize her battle style by using a variety of equipment, including weapons spanning 7 distinct categories and relics that trigger powerful effects through both offense and defense. Combine equipment you discover through exploration to create your own playstyle. Okay. kind of the later games in the series. Like, specifically, I'm going to say Portrait of Ruin, because that's the only one where you're playing as a whip character, but you can switch to the other weapons like the swords, the daggers, fists, stuff like that. But it reminds me a little more of Bloodstained, definitely. Definitely a little more of Bloodstained, with how you were able to completely change your style based on weapons. That's what it feels like a lot. And I think that's great. So, am I going to use anything other than the whip? Probably not. I'm probably going to do what I do in all these games, is if it gives me the whip, I'm using the whip. It's going to be very rare I pull off of the whip, but we'll see. And then, yeah, from iconic gothic aesthetics to vivid, refined visuals, the game presents a fresh take on the world of Castlevania. Explore maps filled with both new features and familiar elements inspired by classic Castlevania titles. So, the one thing I also wanted to point out is in the trailer, there's a lot of sections where it seems like we're going back towards older entries in the franchise. The wall chicken is one of them. The fact that she breaks open the wall and there's wall chicken, wall turkey, whatever, wall meat. That is definitely something you don't see in the later games. So my assumption is this isn't going to be full later Castlevania games where you're able to hoard health and all that. I'm thinking it's probably going to mix a bit of both classic and modern, which I think is fine. Again, we don't know the entire scale of things. Once we do, then we'll see exactly how it works and if it's going to work. I don't doubt it. Again, gameplay looks great. I think the combat looks fluid. There's some modern changes I really like. No Castlevania plays exactly the same. And I think that's the one thing people need to understand, especially people who've not played most of the franchise. A lot of them are similar, but they never play the exact same. They always play a little different, and they always have new systems. Probably the only two you're going to get that are identical are Aria and Dawn of Sorrow. And even then, Dawn of Sorrow was... I don't want to say it was bad, but it introduced some new systems that were not well done. At all. Good ideas, but not well executed. They worked on Dead Cells, and Dead Cells had healing potions and wall food. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Again, I've not gotten to play Dead Cells. I have really been meaning to, though. When they announced the Castlevania crossover, I really wanted to play it. I have not gotten around to that yet. This is cool. But first off, she looks nothing like him, though. At all. She knows how to aura farm like him. Wonder how many of the games are actually made by the same teams. When it comes to the older games, starting with Symphony of the Night onwards, they were pretty much the same team with some exceptions. So, game looks a lot like Dead Cells art style-wise. Yeah, from what I've seen of Dead Cells, it definitely does. And that's perfectly fine. I'm okay. I like it. I don't mind them doing that. All the games have looked slightly different. That is perfectly fine that this is going to look slightly different. Old Man Trevor is kind of cool. What happens if we hit more details? Oh, we actually get, like, character things. Okay, hold on. Was there anything more? No. Okay. First off, yeah, Old Man Trevor design is awesome. I think that's cool. A new protagonist who bears Dracula's curse in her right arm. The daughter of Trevor Belmont, she is a young vampire hunter who wields a variety of weapons in addition to her whip. Okay, so everyone's theory out the window. Everybody's theories and big ol' explanations on why this is Sonia Belmont thrown out the window. Did I believe it? I kind of did want to believe it. Part of me did want to believe that this was going to be them retconning... Well, not retconning, because Legends is non-canon. I thought they would have moved her into the main timeline. They're not. That's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. You have a new Belmont. That is okay. Is it really messing with the story? No. It's not messing with the story. We didn't know too much about what came after Trevor. There are so many blank spaces in the story where you have so much breathing room and it won't mess anything up. So this is perfect. This is fine. Now we got the Old Man Trevor, the hero who defeated Count Dracula 23 years ago. armed with the legendary Holy Whip, the vampire killer. Trevor Belmont, alongside his daughter Rose, travels down the river Seine? I hope I'm not saying it wrong. In response to a call for help from Paris. Now, first off, oh my god, I fuck so heavy with this design. It is such a good design for older Trevor. The twink death has happened. He's no longer slim, clean shaven. This man is scruffy. And I really like that. Now, there's one problem. I'm going to talk about some theories throughout this. This is my first one. I think he dies. I think Trevor either dies in this game or he's going to get very badly injured. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want him to die, but I have a very, very bad feeling that they're going to kill him off in this one. Mainly because there's only one vampire killer whip, so unless she has a different whip, he's probably going to have to be the one who gives it to her, meaning something bad's going to happen. So I do have a bad feeling either he's going to die or he's going to get really badly injured. Or something else happens, you know? I don't know. That's just my theory, though. I think they are going to do something to him in this one. And then Dracula, since we don't get to see him. Immortal vampire king and the lord of Dracula's castle. In the late 15th century, he led an army of monsters and plunged humanity into despair, but was defeated by Trevor Belmont and his companions. However, 3 years later, he temporarily resurrected, revealing that his soul was indestructible. 20 years later, darkness was once again beginning to stir in Paris. First off, we don't see his face, but the design is incredible. They are kind of unifying now what he looks like, because a lot of the games, he looked different. They are kind of unifying a design for him. This looks, from what I can tell, kind of like his Symphony of the Night version, his Rondo of Blood version, Curse of Darkness, and Order of Ecclesia. Those ones all had very, very similar designs. And the animated series kept that design. He just had black hair because it's part 3 version. So I do like that they're starting to unify the design. And the Dead by Daylight version. Any version pretty much from a crossover, he looked like this. So it's good to see that they are very much unifying the design. They're no longer coming up with their own little unique ones. Not that it's a problem, but I do think it makes more sense that when he comes back, he looks roughly the same. Okay. The Fallen, a mysterious monster that terrorizes the people of Paris. The first threat Rose encounters in the sewer. I don't know what this is. There's all these little nicks and knacks on this website that are unknown to me what they are. Oh, okay. It is the card. Okay, so my original theory was that this was going to be the main timeline version of Cornell from 64. Part of me was thinking that because he kind of looks werewolf-like. I quickly thought, no, it isn't going to be. But part of me also thought it could be Grant, because Grant had already been turned into a monster once. I don't think that's correct either. Now, one theory going around is this is thought to be Leon Belmont. Because of the sword, because of the hair, because of the knightly thing in the background. A very big theory right now is that this is going to be Leon Belmont. I don't think so. I don't believe that. So, I mean, that'd be weird. Do I think I'd like it? Not really. I kind of don't think I would like this to be Leon. It would definitely be unique, though. And I guess if you want to start leading into a remake of Lament, you would introduce him some way. And since this is the first new game we're getting in almost 18 years, yeah, I guess this would be how you introduce him. Like it or not, if you want to make a Lament remake, you're going to introduce him in a different game. If this ends up being Leon, the only thing I can say from it would be, cool, this means we might get Lament remake. I don't think it is, though. I think it's going to be a separate night from some historical event. I think that's what it's going to be. I don't see it being an established character, but I could be wrong. Okay, Joan of Arc. Incredible design. What does her card look like? See, pretty neat. Again, I think that first one is going to come from some sort of event. The same historical event that she comes from. Medusa. Again, she looks a lot more reptilian in this one. I fuck with it. I think that's cool. Her card makes her look like Hela from Marvel, though. But I like it. Again, all these designs are really neat. Yeah, Isaac. He has a history with Trevor dating back 20 years. Yep. This man tried to kill him. Unsuccessfully. He has more clothes this time. Oh, okay. I do have one more theory. Let me go back about this. First off, I really like this. Really good design for him, given he got his ass handed to him. My other theory is that this could be Hector. I don't think that's true either, but that was my other theory, is that this would be Hector. Because remember, everybody was cursed. They touch on that in Curse of Darkness. Like, everybody was cursed. Not just the Belmonts. Yeah, they got the worst of it, but everybody suffered some form of a curse. That's why part of me was thinking that this could also be Hector, especially too white hair. I still want to say this is going to be someone new, though. I don't think this is going to be Hector. I don't think this is going to be Cornell. I don't think this is going to be this, you know. I don't think it's going to be an established character. If I'm wrong, that's hype. But I don't think it's going to be an established character. But that was another thought that went through my mind. Carmilla's design looks incredible. It is neat. I like the heavy aesthetic with the blood, given that's her whole thing. Now that tarot card goes hard. That tarot card is incredible. That would make an insane wallpaper. I also like how she's putting on the mask in this one. You could see Rosa's story being breaking the curse. I think she'll break her curse, but the whole thing is throughout the franchise, they all suffer their own curses. Simon suffers the one where he's just slowly rotting away. Richter eventually suffers his own curse. Julius suffers his own curse. They all suffer a curse, no matter what. Pretty much, if you're in that universe, you're fucked. Like it or not. And then Death, yeah. Death's design is a little weird, but I still think it's kind of cool. The tarot card is whatever. I kind of don't. I feel like that one's probably the blandest one. I mean, it's still a cool card. I just think it's probably the blandest one when it comes to design. I want to know who the voice actors are. Yeah, and more. We don't know. I thought I saw the Japanese voice actors are out. If you look at the pre-order, we have an Alucard style costume. I think that's cool. That's nice. And then there's also this game is very cheap. It is $30 or $40 if you get the Midnight Edition. And I like the Midnight Edition's rewards too. You get a relic with Trevor and Sypha on it, and that's their Sypha's 3 and Trevor's Curse of Darkness looks in that relic. The Trevor style costume goes incredibly hard, and the Sypha style costume doesn't really change her too much. That's probably my only complaint about that, is it really doesn't change her outfit too much. It makes it just lighter. But the Trevor style, I honestly might just buy the Midnight Edition just for that. I genuinely love the Trevor style. That goes so unbelievably hard. It is so good. Alucard style is cool though. It's also very cool. I just really like the style from the Trevor one. Main game is the minimum required capacity is 6 gigs. Yeesh. They know how to optimize their stuff. That's crazy. That is cool. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the characters real quick. Come on, website, don't crash on me now. It crashed earlier in the day when I was trying to look at it. The website went down. Too much traffic. Also, they have the Belmont Crest logo now. I think that's pretty hype. Have not seen that since Lament of Innocence, as far as I remember. Or it might have been in Curse of Darkness also. I don't remember that part too much. I'll do the Japanese voices. All right, yeah, you go ahead. You can be Trevor. No, oh, man. This man right here does actually share the same voice actor as Leon Belmont from the Japanese version. So there might be some actual connection there. It is actually Leon Belmont's voice actor voicing this character. At least, again, for the Japanese version. Could that mean they're just getting the same voice actor to voice a different character? Yes, that's happened multiple times throughout this series and many other franchises. But there could very well be a very big connection there. If this ends up being Leon Belmont, cool. Again, I hope it isn't. If it is, it's a good way to reintroduce him. Because this guy is clearly using holy weapons, meaning this is somebody who is not really an enemy. They are a friend, not a foe, at least in some capacity. And then there's Joan of Arc. Again, I'm looking forward to this so much. I cannot wait. I'm hoping we get maybe like one more trailer closer to release date. Hey, Coda. I'm hoping we get one more trailer closer to release date, but other than that, I want them to just not talk about it too much. I want them to keep everything else under wraps besides maybe the voice actor list for English. Because the voice acting is really, really well done, and I want to know who the voice actors are. One of them sounds like Mark Hamill. My theory, if it is him, he sounds kind of like he's voicing Death. If we get Mark Hamill as Death, that is cinema. If we get Mark Hamill at all, that's good. He's a really good voice actor, but if we got him as Death, that is crazy. That would cement it as probably one of the best Death voice actors. But in that trailer, we definitely get somebody who sounds like him. So I can't wait to see what the English voice cast is going to be like. I just can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I think the worst case scenario is this game ends up being mid. Just mid. I don't think it's going to be bad. Are there going to be people that don't like it? Yeah. I don't doubt it for a second. There's going to be people that do not like this. And that is okay. I think a lot of the complaints I've seen, though, from people about this, I don't agree with whatsoever. A lot of people who claim they have played the franchise since they were born. No, I mean, okay, it's valid. I think let it come out, give it a shot, give your opinion then. I know the art style is drawing a lot of people away from it. It's never had a consistent art style. Nor would I really have wanted this to be pixelated either. Look at Bloodstained, it was beautiful. And that wasn't like 16-bit or anything. It was 3D, 2.5D. It was perfect. It was really well done, and that's an amazing game. And I think this is going to carry on that same trend. It's going to be great. That key art, though. Can't get over that key art. So damn good. All right. Well, that's it for my little Castlevania spiel. Let's start getting on to tonight's main event.